Bye, everybody! Okay, Whitney, so, now that the show's over, how do you think it went?
It's always about yourself.
Wait, what? That's what the Twitter trolls say about us, and I didn't think they understood.
I know that people understand.
So we're not going on a date.
Did you see this?
I've already showed them.
Did you see this?
Sorry, Winston. Well, at least we can all agree on one thing, and it's that Jason should win Big Brother Over the Top.
So much.
Hey everybody, and welcome to our special Big Brother Over the Top post-season show with Whitney! You guys can check out all of these shows over at yourrealityrecaps.com/BBOTT. Check out our shows with Shane, Neely, everybody, all of them. It's been a while, I forget. All of our daily recap shows, everything is over there. 24/7 live feed flashbacks times are at /BBOTT flashbacks, and 24/7 live feed updates over on Twitter are at BBOTT live feeds. Now, 3 very important things if you all love our shows and what we do. Number 1, check out the video over at yourrealityrecaps.com/Amazon holiday, or start all your Amazon shopping at yourrealityrecaps.com/Amazon. It's a great way to support our show. Another great way is to become a patron. You get weekly patron-only shows, prize giveaways for patrons, and your questions asked to people like Whitney. Or lastly, second to lastly, you can do a one-time donation over at yourrealityrecaps.com/PayPal, or subscribe right here in You Now. Now, since you guys are in You Now, you know the deal. Spread the word, square megaphone, up arrow, become a fan so that you guys can ask questions in the chat room too. And the number 1 fan on this show is winning Whitney's autograph signed. So everybody, here's Whitney! Hi, Whitney!
Double wave.
This is not the second time we're doing this. Stupid program. Whitney, we love you. So what I was just saying to you a moment ago that nobody will know when they watch the edited version back was, Whitney, you were like America's sweetheart. We all loved you in that house. It very much broke our heart to see you go on, double eviction.
Right.
What were you, what is your overall, before we get into the specific questions that everyone has for you, what is your overall feelings or your takeaway from your Big Brother experience?
I said going into it that there is no amount of money that could ever compare to the experience of being in that Big Brother house. I'm a huge fan. I've watched since I was 10 years old, and the experience is non-comparable to anything in the whole entire world. And even though my time did come to an end, I knew coming back home that I had so much to look forward to, and so many people who loved and supported me. And so I was very accepting to come back home to everyone that I love.
Now, I'm sure this is probably a ridiculous question, but I know one of the ones that we're getting a lot for you is, of course you would play again, right? I don't want to put words in your mouth. But you play again.
I don't know if I would ever be able to do it again. It really is so stressful. And I've had the chance to experience once, and so I don't want to say that I wouldn't ever do it again, because I honestly don't know until that moment comes,
Right.
And I'm presented with that option. But as of right now, maybe I'm just like getting used to being back home, but as of right now, I don't think that I would be able to do it again.
Interesting. I think you would, Whitney. I think a lot of us want you to play. I think a lot of us want you to play in this game again. Another question that you're getting from so many people is you started the game on Team Plastics and then you moved over to where we were thrilled to have you, Team Misfits.
Yeah.
So why did you move over? Why did you go from Plastics to Misfits?
Yeah, of course. So I started out the game really wanting a strong alliance, and I've never been the one to want an all girls alliance because being a fan of the show, I know that that just don't work out. So going into the house, that was completely unexpected. But when it did happen, I can honestly say that I trusted those girls so much with my whole entire BB life to a point. I trusted them. And so I never had the intention of ever turning, ever not being loyal, and never throwing anyone under the bus on my side. Because I'm a very loyal person. And so I felt like that I absolutely had to go over to the other side in order to keep me alive, even if it was just for another week. I know that I was on the bottom of the Misfits because I was the last one to join. So it wasn't like that I didn't know that. I did, but I felt like that I had to turn on the Ball Smashers because I knew that my name was being thrown out there, and I think that if I had not made the move that I did, I would have went home on Scott's week. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I done that. It was never my intention though.
All right, now, all right, we're gonna get more into that in 1 second, but I'm gonna say this for starters. Now, we all know that you got engaged, so congratulations on the engagement. So
Yeah.
the chat room is losing their. Oh, let it. Well, here's what else I was gonna say. They're all saying how beautiful you are, and that I need to get out of the way. So, boop, 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 boop. Show us
Oh
the ring.
wow.
Show us the ring bigger. Show
Okay.
us. A little higher. Oh, yeah. Oh no, a little bit over towards me. To the mid. Perfect. Look at that ring. Oh,
So
that
pretty.
that is so pretty. We love it. And Winston might, no promises, everyone, but Winston might make an appearance later on. Okay, so now you called them ball smashers. Do you think that they prefer ball smashers or plastics better?
I had no idea that we were ever being referred to as the plastics. I think we mentioned it one time and was like, that's a total joke. People probably look at us and think that, we are the plastics off of the movie, but
Mm.
we never referred ourselves to that. We were not in it because we were all, four pretty girls or whatever. We were in it to play the game. And so I'm a ball smasher. I'm not a plastic. I'm a ball smasher.
Okay, so now you're a ball smasher. Do you consider yourself still a ball smasher, or do you consider yourself a ball smashing misfit?
No, I'm not a ball smasher anymore because I mean you're not a part of my alliance if you're gonna try to vote me out of the house when it's not even necessary. There was someone up there who we all agreed could go home, and so I don't want to be a part of your alliance if you're gonna vote me out the first chance you get. So I don't I don't know what I am, and I never wanted to be like that girl who flipped to the other side. But like I said, I felt like I had to. So I guess people can just classify me as whatever team they want me on.
Okay, I like it. Oh, that's a very good thing to be. That's a good thing to be. Were
Yeah.
we saw you very close with Justin in the game, especially there towards the end.
Right.
Um, What are we not seeing about Justin's game? Because I think a lot of us feel like, I don't want to speak for everyone, I'll say a large part of our audience, I feel like, feels that Justin is just kind of a number for the Misfits. It doesn't really seem like he's gaming, he's not really winning anything, but it seemed like he was really loyal to you in the game. What are your thoughts on Justin's game?
Yeah, so my thoughts on Justin, I don't even know when we began to, like, get so close in the house. I don't even know what that point was, but I do know that I had a conversation with Justin in the have not room, and he really opened my eyes and was like, Whitney, your name's being thrown around. You have to do something. And I said, okay, I'm going to take this, put it in the back of my mind, and make moves when I have to and not react on it. So from that point on, I saw Justin as someone who had my back. And now I completely agree that he really hasn't done much in this game. And honestly, I was keeping him close to me because not only was he really, really close with Misfits, but I felt like that I made more moves in the game than Justin. And so, of course, I'm going to take someone to the end with me who has been loyal to me, and I've been loyal to them, but that I felt like that I've played a better game than them. And so, Justin hasn't won anything besides, I guess, a veto one time. But yeah, he is kind of just a misfit number. But he was a good ally for me to have in the house, and I was not about to cut that off.
Right. I don't blame you for not cutting it off. A lot of people in the chat room are asking. Sue Hotex wants to know, what did you whisper in Justin's ear before you walked out the door?
Yeah. So when Justin was the last person that I hugged before I walked out the door, being my closest ally and being the only person that I felt like that I could trust 100%, as I hugged him, I said, you win this, okay? And he said, okay.
Oh, please, no, Whitney. No, don't let him win it, Whitney. We're going to get to who you want to win it.
Okay.
We're going to get to who you want to win it and who you think is going to be in the final three soon.
Okay.
Let me ask you, well, BB Personal Assistance wants to know, since we're on the Justin topic, we kind of saw him maybe being flirty, let's say, with you. Do you feel like he was overly flirty with you, or what did you think of his flirting in the house?
Yeah, of course I knew that Justin had a crush on me. So when I realized Justin's a very touchy guy, and it wasn't just with me. He was like that with a lot of people. But yeah, I for sure knew that Justin had this crush on me or whatever, and I used that as a strategy because I knew that he had my back and was pretty loyal to me. And so, of course, I'm not just going to be like, Justin, stop, don't be around me, I'm not going to do that. But I didn't think that he took it over the top because I know in the back of his mind, and he would say it all the time, Winston's such a lucky guy, shout out Winston, that was always in the back of his mind. And when I felt like that he might be taking it too far, I would pull away from him or, say stop, what are you doing, And so I never felt like that it was ever took too far, but also I'm very, very confident in my relationship with Winston, and I knew that everything was being filmed 24/7, and I felt like that I never took it too far, and I knew that Winston was watching, and I knew that Winston knew that I loved him more than anything. And so I never really thought of it as such a big deal. And then I get out of the house and I realized that everyone else took it as like a huge deal. And it honestly was, it was pretty mind blowing that it was took so far. And I had to come home and be like, Winston, what are you doing? Like, don't listen to these people. Like, you know who I am, and I know who you are, and we know our relationship.
We love you, Whitney!
Wait, I think nobody thinks that, Whitney. I don't think anybody thinks that you were flirting with Justin. I think people think it was Justin kind of flirting with you.
Yeah, and so it was never a big deal to me.
Hey, Eric, what's up, baby?
Hi, Winston. Congratulations to you too.
Thank you. Did you see this?
I've already showed them.
Did you see this?
Oh yes, we saw it.
How'd I do?
We love it. How much was? No, don't tell us how much it was. I'm totally kidding. Now we know why you got to work. No, go ahead, Whitney.
Yeah, with the whole Justin situation, I was just so confident in my relationship back home, and I was hoping that Winston felt the same way back in Kentucky, and so that's why I never really thought anything of it.
Okay, and now the chat room wants to know, he brought you a rose for your show?
Winston?
Oh, he's so cute. You should marry him.
I know. I think I might.
Are any of your castmates going to be in the wedding party?
I don't know if they will be in the wedding party, but they're all for sure gonna be invited. And I hope to see them before the wedding. I want to hang out with so many people. But hopefully I can get at least a few to come out and be a part of our wedding.
Oh, good. I'll wait for my invite.
Yes.
Not little big red. Lori Jaws wants to know, have you spoken with any of your other cast members since you've been out of the house?
Okay, yeah. Actually, Alex tweeted at me when she found out that me and Winston had got engaged and gave us a super nice tweet, and I tweeted back at her and was like, thank you so much. I can't wait for us all to hang out. And then I've also talked to Monty. He congratulated us. And said that he was sorry that I went out the way that I did. But those are the only two I think that I've contacted so far. But I plan on reaching out to everyone. I've just been kind of overwhelmed, and so I'm just giving it a couple days, and hopefully I'll be able to reach out to everyone.
This is why we love you, Whitney, because you get that it's a game, and I think, a lot of people tend to leave Big Brother and hold on to resentment or bad feelings, and I feel like the more time goes on, everybody, I think, will be one unit going forward.
Yeah, I think so too, and that's why even before the double eviction, I got to have a small conversation with Alex and Morgan in the bathroom and was like, whatever happens tonight, I hope that we can remain friends and realize that this is just a game, and I know that that's exactly what's going to happen when we all are out.
I hope that it does. I mean, I think the people that are out now understand it's a game. I mean, Alex, I know, is hopefully coming on soon. We had a scheduling issue. Scott, they get the game in the way that you do, in that it's just a game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Now, let's talk about that double eviction for a minute, because Seattle Jen wants to know, Whitney, why did you not campaign more?
Oh, my gosh. She's sharing the same brain Winston is, because as soon as I got home, he was like, you could have got up off the couch, and I was like, don't even, because in that moment, I felt like, why would Morgan use the veto on me? That's obviously not going to happen, because then Shelby would have went home. So I felt defeated in that. But when it came down to me sitting next to Justin, Like I said, he was my person in the house at that moment. And instead of campaigning against him, I just thought to myself, one of us is for sure going out. Why don't we just sit here and ride it out together? And I knew that the other housemates saw Justin as a huge threat. And honestly, I didn't think that they would keep me. Why would they keep me over someone that they think is going to win this whole entire game? So that's why I didn't. I kind of wanted to, in a sense, remain loyal and ride it out and hope for the best. And unfortunately, it didn't work out. But, I felt like that I had said and done everything that I could at that point.
Interesting. I have to say, not a question, but a comment or a compliment comment from UTSA Jennifer in the chat room wants to know, Whitney, how come you didn't talk to the cameras more? We had no idea you were such a little gamer. You kept a lot to yourself in that house.
Yeah, that's a really good question. No one's asked me that before, but I was honestly kind of weirded out by watching people campaign and talk to America so much that I felt like that America was kind of like getting turned off by people who were doing that so much. And so I didn't want to be that girl. And so when I went into Live Diary Room, I felt like that's when I kind of opened my mind and tried to let people see what I was thinking and where my head was at. But yeah, I just could not get myself to look at the camera and completely campaign for a certain thing, because I was always gaming in that house. I was always strategizing. But once you voice something out there, and then if you were to change your mind about it later on, maybe you have already done the damage and can't go back and fix it. And so that's why I kind of just kept my thoughts to myself until Live Diary Room came.
Right. And I mean, actually, you know what? I'm going to throw this one in here now, since we're talking a little bit about you being a fan of the show. Allison over on Twitter, XOXO Feedsters, wants you to know, first, congratulations on the engagement, and who are some of your favorite Big Brother players? Ever.
Okay, yeah, so my favorite Big Brother player ever is Janelle. She, I started watching season 7, and I truly believe that she is the reason I kept watching Big Brother for as long as I did. Because I loved her gameplay. I loved that she was the most competitive, strongest female, I think, in Big Brother history ever. So she's definitely my favorite. But I would never compare my game to Janelle, because she was absolutely hated in the house at some point. So the person that I always say that I compare my game to, and who is one of my favorite players, is Jordan. I feel like that I can relate to Jordan so much. I felt like our gameplay is very similar. So she is also one of my favorites. And then, of course, Donnie. I said that I'm the female Donnie, and that's exactly what happened. Everyone in the house, I think, loved Donnie and even thought that he was being so nice that he was hiding something. And I know that people thought that I had this huge secret when I really didn't. So yeah, those are probably three of my favorite people. And of course, Dr. Will and, Dan, but those are obvious. You can never compare to them.
I don't want you to compare yourself to Donnie anymore. That's what I would like. Would you ever, R-Town21 wants to know, would you ever do Amazing Race? And I know a lot of people are also asking, would you ever do Survivor? So would you ever do Survivor? Would you ever do Amazing Race? With Winston. You can do Amazing Race with Winston.
Yes, we would totally do Amazing Race.
We have talked about it
I want to do Amazing Race.
every single day. It has been brought up in our conversation, and we would absolutely do Amazing Race. Survivor, no, count me out. I can't do that. I like to eat too much. I could never, ever, ever do Survivor, but the Amazing Race, we would love to do it.
We want to take on. I want to take on my man Tegan and Alex.
I would love to see that, actually. I would love to see a Big Brother edition of Amazing Race, actually.
Yes!
My man Tegan is all about the Amazing Race.
I
think it would be amazing.
We could get Rachel Riley and, Brandon. We could all go. We could all do it together.
I have a feeling Rachel won't do it again. But I've made my little sticky note for you about Janelle. I'll have Janelle reach out to you. I can have Rachel reach out to you too. They will love to know that you love them, because I know they both loved you in the game.
Oh my God, I love Janelle so much.
I'm on it. Let me ask you this. Was there anything, now that you're outside of the house, that you learned that shocked you, that you didn't realize when you were in the house?
About the players that were in there.
Anything about someone's game or anything.
For sure. I lost sleep when Julie Chen told me that Alex and Morgan were sisters. I could not go to sleep because my mind was absolutely blown. I told myself, how did you not realize this? You are stupid, how did I not put two and two together? And why did I align myself with two sisters who were never going to take me over another person? And then it turns out that Shelby is a lawyer, so my whole entire alliance was lying to me about everything, and I was the only person being truthful about who I am. And, if I could go back, if I knew that stuff, I would have done it so much differently. But my mind was blown.
Well, that's definitely where I was going with that question. But so now let me ask you this. Do you think that Shelby is making the smart move by sticking with Morgan right now? Or Shelby even knew when Alex and Morgan were both still in the house, they told her. Do you think it was the smart move for Shelby to stay with them, knowing what you just said? They're never taking her. Should she have tried to use that to get a better advantage in the game?
Oh, so I'm just now finding this out. So did Shelby know prior to, but all three of us sitting on the block, or once they were all on the block and they knew one was going to go home, they told her?
Once they were all on the block and they knew one of them was going home, Alex and Morgan told Shelby together.
Okay, yeah, no, I don't blame Shelby at all for sticking with Morgan after that, because obviously one of them is going to go home, and so they no longer have that ride or die in the house, so why would she turn on one of them when the other one's already leaving the house, so I don't blame her at all for sticking with Morgan, and actually, if I was Shelby, I would ride with Morgan till the end, because not only has she been in her alliance throughout this whole entire game, but Morgan hasn't really done anything or made any big moves. And so if I was Shelby, I would definitely stick with Morgan, because she would beat her without a doubt if it comes down to them sitting up there next to each other. So, Shelby better ride with Morgan until the end.
I love that you just backed up what I keep saying, is I don't know what Morgan is doing in this game. As a person, great person.
Oh my gosh, she was my best friend in the house. She is the sweetest person in there.
Mm-hmm.
But game-wise, Big Brother is not a personal game, Game-wise, I cannot think of one single thing that she has done besides remove herself from the block when she won the veto.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, there's not one single move that she has made.
Yeah, I can't think of any either. I feel like the big plastic move makers were Alex and Scott. Would you agree with that? Or
Oh
ball
yeah.
smashers?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, Alex and Scott were always gaming, always strategizing, maybe a little too much because I mean, Alex was thinking about it so hard that, she threw my name out there because I guess she didn't feel that trust with me, but if she wouldn't have gamed so hard and just really sat back and let things roll how they should, then she would have realized that I was very loyal to her. So I think that Alex and Scott gaming too much got them evicted from the house.
Right. You're right. I think the gamers do go first. The more strategic people in this game go first. I've always said I think Alex and Scott don't get enough credit for how hard they were gaming
Uh,
on that
yeah.
side of the house.
Uh-huh.
Mom of Twins, one of our live feed updaters, says, Whitney, as an updater, I loved your comments that almost seem to come out of nowhere sometimes. They always made us laugh. But where did you feel like you fit in more? Did you feel like you fit in more on Team Misfit, or do you feel like you fit in more with the Ball Smashers? I know you.
That's a really great question. And honestly, I feel like that I fit in more with the Misfits because they made me laugh so much. And with them, we were talking about everything under the sun. And so, my random comments would only come out if I was with them because they really brought it out in me. But now that doesn't mean that I didn't, fit in with the girls because I definitely did. Like they remind me a lot of back home.
Mhm.
But honestly, I was very toned down and pretty quiet. I don't even know what me and the girls talked about for 40 some days because we were all pretty chill. But yeah, with the Misfits, I had so much fun. My stomach would hurt from laughing so much. And I just really felt like that I could be myself around them and make comments that maybe were inappropriate at some time, and maybe throw the F word out there if I wanted to. So yeah, I just truly enjoyed being around the Misfits because they're so funny and great.
It's called a sense of humor,
Yeah.
everyone. It's called a sense of humor. Well, let me ask you this. A different mom of T. Emilio wants to know, so then, would you have stayed loyal to the Late Night Jamboree or the Misfits had you stayed in the game? Uh-oh. Did we get frozen? Oh, did you hear what I said? You froze
Okay,
for a
you
little.
said you said would you have stayed?
Would you have stayed loyal to the Late Night Jamboree if you had stayed in the game?
Yeah, so I definitely think that I would have stayed loyal to the late night jamboree. Given that everything still played out as it did, if Justin would have went home and I would have stayed and Shelby would have won head of household, I don't feel that I would have had to turn on the late night jamboree because I don't think that Shelby would have necessarily been coming after me. She might have put me up, but there were bigger targets in the house, so I don't think that I would have had to turn on them in order to keep me safe because I don't think that Shelby and Morgan would have wanted me to go home, you know.
I agree with you, definitely. Lost and Concruised in the chat room says, we've seen Winston now a few times, wants to play Amazing Race with you and Alex and Tegan, which I would love to see. Lost
Yeah.
and Concruised wants to know, what are your thoughts on the boyfriend alliance happening outside of the house? So, Mike and Tegan and Winston all being friends and rooting all of you guys on together outside the house.
When Winston told me that he had been talking to Mike and Tegan outside, while we were in there, it blew my mind, but it honestly made me the happiest person in the world, because unless you are a boyfriend of someone in that house, you have absolutely no idea what it feels
how
like
complicated
and what kind of pressure you're under. So I'm all for the boyfriend support group, the breastfeeding support group, whatever they call themselves. I'm all for it. I hope that they can remain friends for as long as me and Alex and Chrissy and everyone else.
Shout out to Tegan and Mike, man.
Oh, they're watching. I'm sure that they're watching.
I really couldn't have made it. I love you, boys. I love y'all. I couldn't have made it without you. Much love. BF support group for life as well.
That was a brilliant answer, Whitney. And I'm going to say this to everybody. Yes, I am aware you now keeps freezing and crashing sometimes, so they miss part of your answer, Whitney, but it's just a reason you all are going to have to watch the playback then. I can't control it. And on the playback, we're in high definition and HD audio. So, what did you think about Morgan getting the care package?
When Morgan received the care package, not only did it run through my mind that I'm probably gonna go home, but I was thinking, what the heck, America? Why would you send her this care package knowing that 2 people are gonna be safe and knowing that I'm really already in hot water and don't need anything going against me in this game? And so when she received the care package, it definitely ran through my mind that I was probably going to go home. But it was very unfortunate that it played out the way that it did.
Well, I will say this, Whitney. I can guarantee you that our audience 100% did not vote for you to get that care package. I mean, for Morgan to get that care package. That I will guarantee. Brethany wants to know, what is the biggest difference between being on the show and being a fan of the show watching from home?
Yeah, so the biggest difference is definitely your emotions that are involved, because at home, people don't understand what you're going through. The people at home are always gaming, always. And so when you're sitting at home watching it on TV, you don't realize what all you have to take into consideration, because it's not you on the line. So, you don't like someone, you're like, vote that person out. What are you doing? But when you're in the game, if that's not going to help you then and in the long run, then that's not what you're going to do. Even if you don't like that person, there were plenty of times that I wanted to vote certain people out, but I thought to myself, is this the best for my game? And if it wasn't, then I wasn't going to do it. And I think that, just having your emotions involved is the hardest thing, rather than sitting at home and watching it.
Yeah, I can't imagine, just as someone that only got to go into a Big Brother house, I don't understand how y'all live in there. It's tiny. I don't care what anybody says. It is tiny, and I feel like this season of Big Brother, all of us fans kind of got to witness a little bit what it was like playing the game, because we influenced so much. And you know what? I hate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was very stressful. It is still very stressful.
It is so, so stressful, and you do not realize, you think you're stressed out at home, times that by 1,000 when you're in that house.
Right. I have to say, a lot of people in the chat room want me to make it very clear that 100% our entire audience did not vote to give that care package to Morgan. I
If it,
know. I told her, everyone,
it
not
would
one of
be,
our followers. Go
if
ahead.
it would have been anyone else, if I would have got it, if Justin would have got it, if Danielle would have got it, then I know for a fact that I would still be in there.
Well, a lot of things would have been different. Let me ask you this. Powerwolf wants to know, have you watched any of the feeds since you've been out of the house?
No, I have not, and I do not plan on it.
Oh, so you don't know what the competition would have been that you would have played in next with the mirrors and the lasers.
Okay, yeah, I do know that. Winston's been keeping up with it, like just on Twitter. He's been like telling me, this person's HOH and this person won the veto. So he's been keeping me up to date, but I can't bring myself to watch it just yet. I kind of just need a break.
I don't blame you at all. They wanted to know, do you think you would have done good in it, if you would have played in it? I'm gonna say you would have.
You think so? Because I thought about that, and I didn't know if I would have done good or not, but I think that I would have had a really good shot at it. But Jason and Shelby's time were so, so good. I would hope that I could have beat it, but I really don't know.
Oh, there is. I'll just say this. Everyone, you can go back and watch all of our daily recap shows over at yourrealityrecaps.com/BBOTT and see how we felt about everything that happened. And we can't talk about that, though, on this show. So, Jolly G wants to know, who are you rooting for now that you're home?
So now that I'm home, I'm still not playing personal. And I think that is where so many people get it wrong, is because they play personal when you're sitting at home and you don't know how it is. So I'm still gaming, even outside of the house, and the person that I want to win this game is Jason.
Oh, yay! I might need you in a week. So Jason is the one. So it doesn't bother you that he was a returning player and that people say it's unfair that he has a fan base built in. That doesn't bother you at all.
He was a returning player, and at the beginning, I felt like that Jason was my biggest threat in the house because of it. But as I played the game, he does have a fan base, but who's to say that I can't play the game and get more fans than he has? So, it's left up to you as to how well you want to play the game and how your fans view you. So, he does have a lot, but I'd say that he has the equal amount of haters. And so that can't be good for him either. So not only is he going in there with people who love him and love his game, but he's going in there with people who already hate him, and he doesn't even have to open his mouth in the game. And so I think it's very, very even because they know him and they know how he plays. And so it can't be all good.
Okay. 3 things. Number 1, Whitney, you're getting like standing ovations in the chat room. So I'm starting with that. Number 2, oh my God, you need to play this game again, Whitney. And number 3, you even just gave me something to think about that I'm going to use in my argument is the whole haters viewpoint. I didn't even consider that part of it, that he probably has just as many people hating him.
No, for sure, because in the beginning, I was like, Jason, he has so many fans. I have to get him out. But then you just think more into it and realize that it's not all about that.
Right. Tess McLean wants to know, what is one thing that you learned about yourself playing Big Brother? And she wants to say, thank you, love you.
Okay, yeah, so going into this house, I've always told myself that I'm an emotional basket case and crazy at times. And so I thought that I would go into the house and be emotional and cry every single day and not know how to handle people and break under pressure. And I proved myself completely wrong. It took me three, maybe 4 weeks to even cry. So I know that was a big shocker to me and everyone that knows me. And so I just think that I learned that I was very mentally and physically stronger than I ever imagined. And it really gave me a lot of confidence once I realized, hey, I can do this and I'm going to be okay. And so definitely just mental stability and physically, I really surprised myself.
That's why you were always a misfit with us, Whitney. That's the definition of
Yeah.
us little misfits. Little Big Red wants to know, did your opinion of any of the misfits change after you spent more time with them?
Um, I never had like a really bad opinion about anyone in the house. I think I may have said at the beginning of the game that I didn't like Danielle and that she was on my radar. And that was complete personal game because I just felt like that she just talked about herself and wasn't really open to wanting to get to know me or really anyone else in the house. But once I started hanging out with them, me and Danielle really did grow a lot closer than the beginning of the game. So I guess I already loved everyone else. I had nothing against Jason, Chrissy, Justin. Nothing was ever against them. But I'd say the only person that I ever ran through my mind that I might not like was Danielle. And towards the end, we were both sitting there crying, hugging. When I got evicted, I learned to like her and to just listen to her stories and accept whatever she was talking about. So yeah, just I guess my opinion about Danielle.
Okay, now I ask you that because some people I see it's head of house Ho is saying in the chat room, and you don't have to agree with this or not. You don't have to agree with this if you don't, but they want to know, why do you think the Ball Smashers disliked Danielle so much? Why do you think the Ball Smashers dislike Danielle so much, or do you not think that they dislike her so much?
No, I can agree with that. I can agree that she was probably the only person that the Ball Smashers really just didn't want to be around in the house. And, like I said, that's just because I don't want to speak for any of the girls, of course, but in my opinion, I think that it was because she talked a whole lot and it was a whole lot about herself and people that we don't really know. And so I think that they just kind of got annoyed with it. And the house is so small and we're around each other 24/7. I think that they would just really get tired of just hearing her talk and just need a break from it for a while. But, it's never really like, it's never anything super serious. We just simply got tired of listening to her talk.
Yes, it does seem. I think Jason keeps saying that a lot too. Well, now oh my God, we only have like 15 minutes left, and we have a ton more questions for you. I hate to make you relive some of your last moments, but since you're mentioning Danielle and when we all fell in love with you in your final plea to the house, but that being said, Ed Rizzo wants you to know, I think he wrote you a little bit of a novel, and he says, your eviction was one of the most gut-wrenching moments of the season. Even though you were the only house guest in the top 9 that didn't win any comps or receive a care package, and you were at the bottom of both sides of the house, many felt that you were a favorite to win this game if you got into the final 3. So that said, do you think America will reward the final prize to the person that played the best game or the person who's the most liked?
Oh, Lord, I pray that America gives the prize to the person who has played the best game. Big Brother is not personal. I have said that from day one, and people do not realize that. You cannot base who is going to win this game on any personal issues or whoever you like the most or whoever you think is the prettiest. That's absolutely ridiculous, and that is not Big Brother. Big Brother is about strategy and who can get their way even when they're on the bottom, and who played the best game from day one until the end of this. So I just really hope that America votes with who they think played the best game.
Me too. Me too.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, me too. So our current standings, as everyone knows, in the house right now. Earlier today, Shelby used her POV that she won to remove Morgan from the block, leaving only Danielle and Jason in the house. And at this moment, Danielle seems to be the target for the house guests. Who would you, if let's say you were switched out with Justin, who would you be casting your vote to send out this week?
If I was still in the house, I would vote to evict Danielle. And that, Danielle and Jason are both probably the strongest players in the whole house. So when that happens, it's kind of a win-win situation. Whoever goes home, there's a big threat home, that's no longer in there with you, that you don't have to worry about. But I think that Danielle has probably made more moves than Jason and definitely won more competitions at this point. And so I hope that if I was in the house, I would vote to evict Danielle because she has played this game so well. And, obviously she's the one who got me evicted. So she's making all the right moves, and winning when she needs to. And that's very scary. And the other house guests should be scared of her.
I will say, for what it's worth, she really didn't want you to be the one to go.
Yeah.
She really didn't want you kind of to be the one to go. Okay, let me ask you this. Mean Wald 210 wants to know if the final 3 is... I'm going to ask you a few of these, actually, because I saw a lot of people throwing them out. But he wants to know if the final 3 is Justin, Morgan, Chrissy, who would you give your vote for? Justin, Morgan, Chrissy.
Oh, wow. That's a bunch of people who haven't really done anything in this game. So, here I go on the personal train. I would give my vote to Justin.
You would? Okay. I'm not surprised, though. Okay, what if it was Shelby, Justin, and... oh, goodness, what was the other one? Shelby, Justin, and Danielle.
Okay. I would probably give my vote to Danielle.
And in any scenario that Jason is in, you're going to give to Jason.
Any scenario that Jason is in, I will give my vote to him.
So will the rest of America. Just get ready, everybody. Will Confer Peace wants to know, will you... This is a very serious question. We have not asked you any of the hard-hitting questions yet, Whitney. Now it is time to prepare as we get to the end.
Right.
Con for Peace wants to know, will you cook now that you're out of the house?
You know what? I cooked last night for Winston, and I fixed our Big Brother specialty chicken with Worcestershire, soy, and a ton of pepper, and he absolutely loved it. So, yes, I've already been cooking, and he's actually cooking right now since I'm doing this. So I cooked for the first time last night, and he loved it.
And he's still alive. Winston, you still alive?
The chicken was amazing. It was awesome.
Oh, there you go. I will love it then. Who are we crediting for the cooking, Justin?
That's Justin. Shout out to Justin for that amazing chicken recipe.
Hopefully you can tell him in person real soon.
He probably saved my life, honestly.
Jet Setter in the chat room wants to know, who do you want to see in the final three then with Jason? If you could pick any of the people left in the house right now, who would you want to see in the final three with Jason?
I would pick Jason, Chrissy, and Justin.
Really?
Yeah, final three, because I'm thinking second place as well. You know, you do get something for second place, so
do you?
Yeah, I definitely want Jason to win. I want him to win the whole thing. But you know, maybe second place wouldn't be too bad.
Sure. I think Chrissy is playing a game. It's not a game that I would give the win to, but at least I feel like she has a strategy, and her strategy is stay out of the drama, let everyone else fight it out.
She does have a strategy for sure. She's not a Morgan. You know, I don't know if Morgan has a strategy or not. Chrissy does have one. It might just be very down low.
It is. It's to let everybody else fight it out and let all the big people take each other out. And there are people that win Big Brother that way.
Yeah.
So you wanted the final three to be Justin, and Jason, and who did we just say? Justin, Whitney, who? Chrissy. Oh my God, I have no short-term memory. That's not what my question was. Judas J wants to know, who would you want to win the HOH this week? Let's assume that it's our sad day and Danielle leaves. Who would you want of the remaining people in the house to win this week's HOH?
I would definitely want Jason to win. Well, you know what? It's getting down to it. He might not need to win this next one in order to be able to play for the last one. So if it couldn't be Jason, I would want possibly Chrissy to win it. Either Chrissy or Justin, because I just hope that they remain very loyal to each other. But honestly, I'm thinking of Jason's back when I say all of these answers, because I know that they would take him to the final three with them. So I would hope that, you know, just someone on that side would be able to pull it out.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, well, you haven't watched a lot of the feeds. Justin's flipped. Justin is off the Jason train 100%.
No way.
He's done.
Oh, wow.
Only Chrissy tells us in her DRs that not to listen. Like, she told us in her DRs, don't listen to what I'm saying to the people in the house. Obviously, I'm still 100% want to get to the end with Jason, but no, not Justin. Trying to get Jason out.
Oh my gosh, no, that absolutely blows my mind. Well, you know, I'm thinking of Jason like right now, and I want someone to win this next one who's gonna take him, and so that has to be Chrissy.
Or him. Our little Justin can win it. I mean, our little Jason can win it.
Yeah. So if he could win, you know, just it's just scary when it gets so close to the end, because if he's not able to play in that final one, then that is a little scary. But I'm rooting for Chrissy.
Let's see. We need you to pull it out, Chrissy. Pull it out for us. You did it. Three really quick questions from some of your younger fans. What was your favorite comp that you got to play in?
Was the ball pit comp that Chrissy won the HOH. That was so much fun.
Was there any comp as a Big Brother fan that you wish you would have got to play in?
I put that the face morph was my favorite competition ever, and I completely sucked at it. So I'm so glad that I got to try and do the face morph. But I guess probably another one is just the OTEV. That's always a really big one. So maybe that one.
You got to go back on the real season, Whitney. You have to come back and play. You have to take back what you said in the beginning, and you'd have to come back on to Big Brother to do that.
Yeah.
Well, here is what I want to say, Whitney, because we are already over an hour. So I want to first say, Yanisa, so far you are the #1 fan going to get Whitney's autograph. We only have a few more minutes left, but Whitney, I want to get out of the way because you've had 3,000 people like watching you live. What do you want to say to all of your fans and the people that supported you?
Yeah, so I would just like to say to all of my fans and all of America, hopefully you guys understood every single move that I made in the house, because I've said it so many times, it's never an individual game, it's never a group game. It's always about yourself in there. And so, I made the moves that I thought I had to make to keep myself alive for one more week. And I know that people understand why I did the things that I did in the house. And hopefully, I made everyone proud and everyone can support everything that I done. And, you guys are so great. I am absolutely overwhelmed with how many people love and support me and Winston, so I just want to thank you guys so much.
They love you. The whole entire chat room is telling me that you have to come back on. Whitney has to come back on. We need more Whitney. And now I do want you to come back on, because I want you to come back on when we're recapping what's happening in the house, because they feel you have amazing insight on what's going on in this game, Whitney.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You were amazing. Everybody is just saying how much that they are loving you in the chat room. Where can people follow you on social media if they want to keep hearing the stuff that you have to say?
Yeah, so I would love it if everyone followed me on Twitter. My name is so easy. It's just my name. It's at Whitney Hogg. So you can't mess that up. So, I haven't been tweeting a lot lately, just trying to get back, into the groove and into my life. But I definitely plan on tweeting a lot more about the game that's coming up, and just about stuff that's happening in my life. So hopefully they can all follow me on Twitter, and then my Instagram is the same exact thing. It's at Whitney Hogg.
I will put the links to Whitney's social media below the edited version of this video. You have to come, I get it if you don't want to watch the live feeds, but you can come hang out in our chat room and watch it with people. It's very fun. A lot of people want to know, do you have any plans to, or will you consider getting a P.O. box for the people that want to send you stuff?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I definitely want everyone to be able to send me stuff. I want to hear all of your letters and what you think. So I will look into a P.O. box that anyone can send me anything to, and possibly even, tweet that out there, or get up with you, or let Winston let you deal with that. And you put that out for me.
Okay, we'll do it for you. We're on it. Once you get it, I suggest putting it in your Twitter profile. I will 100% put it below this video, and we 100% will share it with everyone once you get it. Well, Whitney, we love you so much. We really hope that you come back. On behalf of the chat room, you don't have to go anywhere because we're only ending for them. We want to say we love you and bye, everybody. Bye, chat room.
Thank you guys so much.
Bye, everybody. I'll see you guys later tonight. The show will be up soon. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Hey, just kidding. I love you.